Mixed Tag Show.
The Mixed Tag Show.
With Jenna and Blue.
Damn.
Now, here's your host,
Jenna and Blue Magic.
What's up?
What's going on?
You're listening and watching the Mixed Tag Show with
Jenna
and Blue. Are you paying attention? What
yes,
you
I
doing?
am. I took this dope picture of you. I'm gonna send it to you later.
Did you really? Oh my god! Because you know I like to take pictures.
Yeah, it's kind of like
That's not a dope picture. I look like I'm high off of something.
you looking down.
Whatever.
It was candid.
Okay. How are you?
Good in yourself.
I'm okay. How's your week so far?
How is my week? My week has been pretty good. I've been pretty active during the week, and
You did something on Sunday, didn't you?
what did I do on Sunday?
Sunday, you came out to Queens.
Ah, yeah, I did come out to
You
Queens.
forgot we got to spend time together. You forgot about that.
Yeah, we went over there and did Peter Ray's podcast.
Yes. So, all you listeners and watchers, this Friday, our good friend Peter A. has his podcast, My Little Underground, and his episode, or level, I should say, level 9, will be coming out featuring
The Mixed Tag Show with Jenna and
Blue. What? We out here, yo.
So check us out this Friday with Peter A. It's at Peter A. Radio, right?
If I'm not mistaken, but we will put the link up.
Right.
But you can definitely My Little Underground on all podcast platforms, iTunes, iHeartRadio. We had fun. The hour went by super quick just talking
Yeah,
about
it did.
wrestling.
Yeah, definitely. They went faster than we think it does for our show. It was like, that was an hour?
It was an hour, yeah. So it
Our
was
show
nice.
be like,
Yeah, it was nice picking someone else's brain in regards to wrestling. So it was definitely cool.
I actually picked our brains, which is nice.
Do not correct me because
It
there's
was
a
just
few
nice.
times that I can correct you. So
I'm just trying to make
nah,
sure.
I mean, don't correct me.
It's tag team part, alley-oop.
Yep, there wasn't an alley. You correct me.
And then we had a scary moment on the way back.
See, this is
Not a scary moment, but
and it's kind of scary, but we won't get into it a little bit too much. My point is, you don't listen to me, and
how don't I listen to you? I
Don't
listen to
listen.
you all the time.
Don't listen. You want to be cool with your car and what have you, but
Listen.
that's another topic for another day.
We'll say that for behind the scenes with the Mixed Tag Show, where we do
We
like
get a little candid
yeah, we do one of those JR Q&As or
something.
yeah,
Wow.
stories.
It was a good team building exercise, I suppose.
It was. It
So.
surely was.
So at least I got to drive your car again. I really got to drive your car this time.
Right. You just need some brakes and we're good.
What do you mean I need some
I
brakes?
said my car needs some brakes and we're good.
What?
My car is Zoe.
It doesn't have brakes.
Like the brakes are good, but it needs better
so
brakes.
So you put me in a crazy situation,
Oh
and you
my
have
God. The
my
brakes-
life was in danger.
Your life was not in danger. Clearly, the brakes work because you used it. I'm just saying I want to get better brakes for my car.
So this week on Raw, actually, before we even get into that, it is Thursday. So
No, we could just go straight into Raw.
what?
No, we'll worry about the draft next week. We ain't got to worry about this week.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the draft. And I actually did well this week. But before we even get into that, I wanted to again shout out the WWE shop this Thursday.
Yeah.
So they are having a championship and memorabilia sale today. So if you want, look fly with your memorabilia and your titles. Go
This
ahead.
is your chance right now. You got till Friday.
You got till Friday. You also, if you want, actually please help us out. We provide the link. Click there and
Yeah,
Get all
cop
the
some
sa-
merch.
cop some merch. Get all the
Support
savings.
the Mixed Tag Show.
That's it.
If you listen to this on Monday, not that Friday that you're thinking, the Friday that just passed, you missed your chance. But if you listen to this on Thursday, get it before tomorrow.
Exactly.
There, help
Good.
you out.
Good for you, Blue. Good for you.
Trying to be helpful.
So we're gonna talk about the draft, right?
We're gonna
I
talk
don't
about
know
Raw.
why I wasn't so excited. This is a really good week
We're
for
gonna
me.
talk about Raw. We don't come on and just go to Raw.
We're gonna talk about
Oh my God.
this week. As those of you know or don't know, we have a fantasy draft going on, and we have our season that is going to SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
So make sure you follow us on Facebook so you can get all the points, so you can understand how this works. Blue stable is
Blue Magic Club. What? Yeah.
And my stable is called, if those of you don't know, stables is our team. So
Yep.
my stable is called the Queen's Court. And what was that? What do you mean? What was that about? You made
All
a
right,
noise.
like cool.
Oh, you made a noise like it was. Okay. So, but yeah. So with that said, this week, the Queen's Court has a total of 1,172 points.
Catching up.
Low key, very low key. And the Blue Magic Club has 1,565 points. I want those to realize, though, this week I scored a total of 140 points, while your boy Blue over here scored a total of 17. What happened this week, man?
So, see, what happened was,
what
right?
happened was,
Last week you said you wanted to, quit, throw the towel in. So I was like, this week, let me lay back.
Is that what it was?
Let me fall back.
So
Let her catch up a little bit.
you spoke to the writers. And
Yeah,
and
you know what I'm saying?
told
Like, yo, let her rock for a bit so she don't quit on us.
right.
You know what I mean?
Okay, well, thank you. Appreciate it. So we're coming up, so we got to keep the trend going. So now we're going to get into Raw.
Yes, let's get into Raw right now.
You want to start off?
Sure, I start off Raw.
Start off.
Kurt Angle opened up the show to discuss the contract signing between Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax. The crowd was pretty into it. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, yeah,
They were
Ronda
excited
Rousey.
for that.
Then Stephanie McMahon came out and informed Kurt, like, yeah, but I'll be taking control of the contract signing.
Course.
You know what I mean? It's the women's division. I want to step in and put my face in there.
Well,
Plus, it's
yeah.
Ronda Rousey. I have a little
exactly.
history.
That's more
We
so
have
what I
a little
think it is.
history. So
Mhm.
then Roman comes out and goes, yeah, Steph, but what you going to do about me being
Is that how
the
Roman
Universal
talks?
champion?
Okay. Well, we know
Big
you
dog.
won't. Right. Well, we know you won't ever be.
Since
a
you have
wrestler.
your favorites.
Right.
So then Steph is like, nah, I don't have my favorites, and just to make sure of it, Kevin Owens came out to interrupt. Was like, you know what? I like you, Roman. Threw everybody for a whirl. Like, wait, what?
Exactly.
It's like, I like you, Roman. He's like, if it wasn't for Roman, I wouldn't be in Money in the Bank.
Try to get a little thank you Roman chant. That
Right,
didn't really happen.
yeah, thank you, Roman chant didn't happen. And then KO tried to, build up with Stephanie, put his arm on her, like, got
Wasn't
comfortable.
feeling it. Wasn't
Steph
feeling
was
it.
like, nah, I'm still the princess.
That's it.
I'm the still $1 billion princess.
You got respect.
You can't afford what I got on right now. Get your arms off.
You
Thank you.
respect me, bro.
Thank you. So then, then she made Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns to please the fans. And because Kevin Owens decided to put his arm on her.
That's it. So then Jinder, so they had their match, and then Jinder Mahal interfered, and what happened after that? Yeah, Jinder Mahal interfered, so obviously,
They jump in Roman.
yeah, and then Seth,
Decides to
his fellow Shield member, came and
Seth finally realized that's his friend.
exactly. Did he finally realize, or he thought the big dog was gonna overcome? That's what he probably thought.
No, he finally because the past couple of weeks he haven't been saving Roman. It's been
He has other things to do.
It's been Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman. So
Yeah.
he's like, oh yeah, that's my friend. Let me go help him.
He had other things to worry about. But yes, Seth came out to help Roman, and then that created a tag team match between Roman
Really,
and
nobody
Seth.
saw that coming.
Roman and Seth versus KO and Jinder. Of course, your boy Seth Rollins, Monday Night Rollins, who is on fire right now, won. And after that, Jinder is a sore loser, so he attacked Roman and Seth on the stage with the chair.
To me, I think that took so long.
Yeah, that was I think that was like a half an hour.
No, it was an hour.
Oh, it was an hour, was it?
It took the first whole hour.
I mean, that's just kind of
And-
their MO nowadays.
And I was texting him like, yo, even in the first match when it was just Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns, it was like 2 or 3 commercials. I'm saying, like, really? We need
Yeah,
2 or 3
you did text me a couple
Like, we
times about
need-
commercials.
and then commercial to set up the tag, and then like 2 more commercials during the tag.
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying,
was
like,
super long.
I'm like, yo, what? I'm watching a game. I told her, I was like, I'm watching a game. This is ridiculous.
So we had Sami Zayn. We had a little interview session with the Lashley sisters.
Mm.
All right, so we're going to talk about that. So Bobby Lashley interrupts, Sami
His
does it.
sisters are 3 guys
Yes.
dressed in dresses and wigs
Yeah, exactly.
with beards and all.
Looking all types of crazy.
Yeah.
Right. So then Bobby comes out. It's a little awkward exchange, and then he attacks the sisters. Then all of a sudden, it's a 4-on-1 attack, and then of course Bobby Lashley prevails,
Overcomes it.
and Sami Zayn escapes. So, what did you think about this wonderful segment?
This was like one of the worst segments they had on Raw. in
Who'd
a
have
very
thought?
long time.
In a very long time, or in a year's time, because just last year we had.
I said one of the worst.
Okay.
Even our listeners felt that way because we put up a poll during Raw. I was like, hey, who liked this segment?
No one did.
It
No one
didn't do
did.
good. It didn't. No, a few people did like it.
Oh, people did actually like it.
People did
I would
actually
love
like it.
to hear those
I would
people's
say
opinions.
I'd say like 15% people liked it that actually did the bar thing that they have on Instagram now. But everyone else put 0. They even moved the bar. They were like, yeah, this is trash.
Well, yeah, I didn't think they could possibly do any worse than the Bailey "This Is Your Life" segment they had last year. But there you go.
Man.
We had an even worse segment. I don't know. It's just like, first of all, Bobby Lashley. It's just whatever they're doing with him is not.
Not working.
It's not working. He's really awkward on the mic. Sammy is doing well. I mean, I guess it's kind of like what the situation last year with Alexa and Bailey, right? It's like Alexa does well with her promos, and
Bailey's
you gave
not
her.
connected.
No, it's not even Bailey. And what I'm saying is, you're gonna give them this script, and they're gonna do the best that they can. It's the same situation with Sammy. They gave him the script. Obviously, he did the best he could, but it wasn't a good segment at all. It was really, really
Cringy.
bad. And I don't know if this, now the dream match that supposedly would be happening between Bobby and Brock is looking like that.
Nah, we still got Money in the Bank.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think they're
Bobby's
building
the
up.
money.
Yeah, exactly. They're making Bobby look really, really weak right now. So
Yeah, I don't know which route they're going with in terms of that. They might give it to Roman again. That's how it looks. That's how it feels like.
yeah, Roman has to save the day. That's what the big dog does.
well,
But clearly,
okay.
you don't agree with that.
No.
So we had Alexa Bliss. She had her interview backstage. No one really knew what she was talking about, but
I was watching the game.
so that started off a match between Ember and Alexa. Ember won.
Yeah, it was a pretty decent match.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Then we had a backstage segment between Stephanie McMahon, Finn Balor, and Braun Strowman. Basically, Balor and Braun wanted a rematch against Drew and Dolph Ziggler, but instead, Stephanie made a singles match between the two.
Yeah, friendly competition, they said it would be.
Then we had No Way Jose.
Hashtag after that.
Didn't say after that.
I'm trying to put it over for you, but every time
Is
I
that
put
what
it,
you want?
yeah, I'm trying to put
I
it
feel
over.
like I'm trying to switch it up. I'm trying to say different
All
things.
right, I'm sorry. All right, guys, cancel the t-shirts.
You told the WWE shop to cancel.
Cancel the t-shirts. Huh?
Sorry, guys.
She doesn't like after that.
So after that, hashtag after that, we had No Way Jose versus Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin wins.
Okay.
They're still continuing this feud, but
All right.
then we're just running through Raw, huh?
What?
So we had Kurt Angle and Chad Gable backstage segment. Kurt basically told Chad he would have loved to have him in a qualifying match, but management rules. Then we have Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler interrupt their little
Father-son
interaction.
moment.
Okay.
That's what it felt like.
It
was
did.
like-
You know what? It low-key did feel like that. And the match was made between Dolph and Chad. Now, and we have our newest tag team,
B-Team, undefeated.
You know what? I think that I won't be surprised that shirt is going to be on the WWE shop.
B-Team?
That shirt.
Of course.
It's going
It's
to be
the best team.
It's going to be hot. So, yeah, B-Team gets another win, undefeated, like you mentioned.
Yup.
So, they're out here, yo.
They trying to get these W's.
That's it. And then we had Nia Jax, Stephanie McMahon, and Ronda Rousey in the contract signing for the Raw Women's Championship match at Money in the Bank. Want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, Stephanie stirs the pot between Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey.
But of course.
And, Stephanie's also, mentioning, hey, Nia, do you think that, you could take out Ronda? And Ronda, do you think you could get her in the armbar? Trying to instigate between the two. I feel like they're going to set up Nia to be
Heel.
corporate.
Corporate heel.
Yeah, she's going to be basically the person they use to take out Ronda.
Like her cousin. Remember when they turned The Rock?
Yeah.
He was a face for a quick second in 1998, and then he became exactly
corporate Rock.
I can see that.
Yeah, so I feel like they probably going to try to do that with Nia Jax. Both of them start getting mad, and then, point of view. And then Ronda moves the table, and they do their stare down between Nia and Ronda. And I'd rather them. This segment was okay, There was nothing like spectacular about it. I just wish that they would have did a little bit more between the two.
Well, I don't know if I want to say it was okay. If Stephanie, and I think that's the reason why Stephanie was there, just because, as much as great as Kurt is, it would have been a really
hard to watch.
Exactly. So
he still stumbles over his words.
Exactly. Stephanie is, she may be the second or third best heel in the company. She's been like that for years. She's just good at what she does. So she was definitely needed for this segment, especially when Ronda and Nia are not the strongest on the mic. So she definitely saved the segment. But
this is gonna be very interesting to see.
Yeah, it is. I don't see a clean win for Nia, and I don't know. I think it might take some time for Ronda to overcome it. We'll obviously talk about it more as the show comes.
Right.
But yeah, this wasn't the best segment. It wasn't.
Then we had Chad Gable versus Dolph Ziggler, where Ziggler actually won. It was a decent match between the two. Two Matticians going at it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, McIntyre came out the end and hit him with the Claymore.
Yeah.
I actually, the only thing again.
Did we have this bolt, sir?
I just want to say one thing. Can I just say one thing, please? I don't like that Dolph Ziggler's
Wait. Okay, go ahead.
I don't like that Dolph Ziggler's using a super kick as a finisher.
I mean,
and then he falls like Shawn after the super kick. I'm saying, like, yo, are you serious?
But that's kind of been his thing for years, so.
Stop it. Everybody's saying it. Stop.
So then we had Natalya, Dana Brooke, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan in the next qualifying match for the Women's Raw Money in the Bank match. And Natalya wins.
Yep.
And she's moving on to Money in the Bank. So what did you think about that?
I think it was pretty good. It's a veteran move. Natalya has more experience over the others.
Mm-hmm.
And she has been in a ladder match last year, so she has that kind of experience as well.
Yeah.
So it makes sense in a way. I know people were saying like Liv Morgan or Sarah Logan or Dana Brooke, but actually nobody did say Dana Brooke, but still, Natalya has the experience, and until Liv
There were
Morgan,
some people that wanted Dana to win. Dana has.
Yeah, she has some fans. I ain't gonna lie. She's dope to me. I think she just need more time in the ring.
And which is something that she hasn't gotten.
Right. And I think she would be really good. Like, I like her physique. Mm-hmm. She's very funny when they let her get on the mic. Mm-hmm. Just give her some time in the ring. It should be fine.
See, I was conflicted again. It's the same thing that happened last week, and we'll even talk about it again for SmackDown. I'm happy Natalya won, but when you look at this match, it's essentially the same thing last year. Yeah. Except the only two new people that are in it would be Alexa Bliss and Ember Moon at this particular moment.
Right.
So it's essentially looking like last year when a lot of us who are Raw fans as opposed to SmackDown fans were really excited that we thought this was going to be a Raw exclusive pay-per-view. So now when you're seeing, you don't get to see those Raw superstars that really are going to be on
right.
in this match. It's a little disappointing.
Deflating.
I would have loved to see Liv in the match, or maybe even Sarah, more so Liv. But Natalya's a safe choice, so I understand it's a veteran move. So, yeah. What do we have after that?
After that, we had Bobby Roode versus Elias, where Elias actually wins. Mm-hmm. Surprised there, right? I really thought that match was going.
Yeah, I really thought the feud was done with, but clearly.
Wait. The funny part about this, right?
Did we have this bold?
No. But, I guess we'll...
Go ahead.
We'll continue.
Yeah, talk about it. Talk about it.
I'm sorry. It's just that this is when they cut the commercial.
Yeah.
But the way they had cut the commercial is how when Elias came out, it was leaving, and they had Braun run him over on stage. And then cut the commercial. I'm like, dang, this guy can't even leave the arena without getting ran over? Yo, Braun don't like you, bro.
Braun doesn't like many people.
But, yeah, I just wanted to point that out. That was hilarious.
So we had, right before, I guess, they went to the main event, they announced that next week we're going to have an intercontinental championship match between Seth Rollins versus Jinder Mahal.
This should be interesting.
And we're going to talk about that in a second. And also, we have a last chance Money in the Bank qualifying match for the women's. And we have Sasha Banks, the Riot Squad, Mickie James, Bayley, and Dana Brooke. So why did you think it was interesting? The match was interesting between Seth and Jinder?
Because Seth been on fire. And I'm just interested to see how he works with Jinder.
Yeah.
Because Didn't he have a match with Jinder before, and they had a pretty decent match?
I
feel like Jinder had a decent match recently. I can't remember who he had it with, and it was just like that person bought it out of him. So
yeah, he did have a match recently.
Yeah,
I can't remember, but I think it's interesting just for the simple fact that Jinder, is feuding with Roman. So out of nowhere now he gets
an IC title match.
Yeah, so it's a little random. But Steph right now he has an open challenge, so he's a fighting champion. So I guess that makes sense. But it's still a little random.
Yeah, it's definitely random between the two. I would have liked somebody else to get a shot.
Yeah, you like my shirt, by the way?
Bosses makes banks.
Bosses make bank.
Bosses make bank.
Yeah, because you're adding all these different S's that is not there.
Because I'm looking at the S's as I'm trying to read the rest of the shirt that's under the table.
Okay. All right, but do you like it?
Yeah, it's a dope tank top. It was hot today.
Yeah, it was. It was like 80 degrees or something like that.
Right. Feeling yourself. I realized that. You like to pop out the tank tops when it get hot outside.
Doesn't most people do that when the weather's hot? I mean, a good majority of people do that when the weather.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not a random thing. Okay. So we have the last chance Money in the Bank qualifying gauntlet match. Excuse me, I didn't mention that before. What do you think about that? Well, I didn't say gauntlet match.
Oh, gauntlet match. Yeah. I feel like Ruby should pull it out.
Yeah.
I think Ruby should win. Only because I think they could use this pay-per-view to build up Sasha and Bayley leading into SummerSlam. I know that most people would like to see Sasha and Money in the Bank, and I don't discount it, but she'll have her chances, and I feel like this is a good reason to build for her and Bayley. Maybe they'll start something during that gauntlet match, or either at Money in the Bank, because like I said, if neither one of them don't win, then they could have like a tag team on the pre-show. I know most people don't like the tag team idea, but the tag team could build to something. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just now starting to be friends again.
Air quotes.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with you, only if that's what they actually do. If it's a situation where Ruby wins and Sasha and Bayley doesn't have any type of match or anything to prolong this feud, I will be a slow burn. I will be super annoyed that the person that's name is in the pay-per-view's name is not participating. And I want to shout out my friend Astro because he made this clear to me when we were texting during Raw. He said how he believes what's going to happen is they'll use Sasha to start the match and pair off with all these different people. And then at I guess the last minute or so, then she'll have her lose. Basically, you'll use her to match up with everyone else and make everyone else look good. And then whoever comes out will win.
Right.
And I guess we'll discuss a little bit more in the hot topics in regards to Sasha. Yeah. There's some news in regards to that, but
kind of like how they did with Nia Jax.
What do you mean?
When Nia went through the gauntlet and then Sasha won at the end.
But no, but it was a situation where Sasha actually benefited and won. This would be a similar situation where, like, for example, Royal Rumble. Right, you use her to get the first ever women's Royal Rumble, to have her do all these spots and stay in super long, and then at the last minute she loses. So it's kind of similar to this situation.
I feel like it's gonna be added to her turn.
True, that makes sense.
Add to her turn, her frustrations.
That makes sense.
Again, I just would like to see, and me and Nels was talking about this yesterday.
Shout out to DJ Nails.
Shout out to DJ Nails.
I did it for you. You didn't have to do it. You didn't have to do it.
You.
I got you.
Thank you.
I'm shouting out everybody today.
We're shouting out all our friends.
That's it.
We discussed this, and it's like the problem right now on Raw, there's not enough storylines going on. Yeah. There's no storylines going on.
Third week in a row where
there's none. Like
slow.
No tag team storylines.
Nothing.
No IC storylines.
Nothing.
So what happened is everybody's so focused on Bayley and Sasha because that's the only storyline there is.
Hold on to, yeah.
So everybody's like, all right, now we're waiting for this to happen. Like, what are we doing? Now, back in the day, like when NXT, when they had this little kind of burn going on,
you had multiple storylines.
You had multiple storylines to distract you.
Right.
So you're like, I'm watching this. Okay, this is happening. Okay, when it comes to your attention, you see it.
Right.
Right now, there's nothing on Raw.
Yeah. And just because I'm pretty sure at this point, 12 episodes in, people realize that we're both marks for are huge fans of Sasha Banks. So I don't want to say she has to win it because, like,
Right.
I do agree, Ruby Riott is definitely on fire, and I would love to see newer talent in the match.
And plus, Ruby has experience in the ladder match when she had the joint with Nikki Cross.
Yeah, so Ruby's on, in my opinion, on fire. I would love to see her in the match too, but I also want to see my favorite in the match too. Sorry. So if it was a situation we can have both, I would love that. But like you said, hopefully, what your idea comes to fruition.
Yeah, that's a little burn happened.
So, and then we had the main event with Finn Balor versus Braun Strowman. Braun defeats Finn pretty cleanly, and there was not much
It was pretty
happened.
decent. It was a pretty decent.
It was a decent match, but nothing happened.
Balor had his offense in, but you know,
Literally nothing happened. There was no like curveball thrown. It was just all right. I respect you.
As we
End
do,
of Raw.
As we do now. How you rating this Raw?
What did I rate it last year?
Last week?
Last week.
You gave it a C, I think.
I'm gonna give it a C minus C.
Just give it a D. I give it a D.
You gave it a D. Why?
What happened?
True.
Nothing happened.
True. I'm gonna give it a C minus
Be-
because
besides-
I'm not a smart like you.
Besides Natalya winning, I remember that.
Yeah.
Like, what really happened? That whole hour just killed me off. It was just like, really?
It was a good match though, but it was just too long. It was too long.
I
What led to it? It made it too long.
Listen,
I agree.
When you have the NBA playoff going on at 8:30, you don't
Who
put.
played on Monday? No, it was Tuesday. I was heated because the Warriors lost.
Yeah,
Oh my God! I don't even want to discuss.
that's what I'm saying. But on Monday is the East Coast, so they start at 8:30. Why would you put on a match basically for an hour
Yeah.
in that hour block?
Yeah, and it just goes back to what you're saying that you have the playoffs going on, so you want to do your best to
Keep
deter
their attention.
exactly deter people from watching the playoffs and watching your product. And I just feel the past 3 weeks has just been like, okay, we don't know what we're doing. It's just let's throw this and hopefully it works type thing.
What did I text you? I was like, I'm switching Raw to my phone. Like,
Yeah.
I'm watching the TV, I'm watching the game on the big TV.
Yeah, well, I was loyal just because I didn't care about the Celtics or Cavs. So
It was a pretty good game.
Tuesday we had SmackDown Live,
Yeah, SmackDown Live, my show.
your show, our show.
No. I gave you a pass.
You guys are not gonna keep telling me I can't switch over.
You can't. We gave you a chance. You
No, you
decided to
mean
stay on
I can't.
Raw.
Who
You
said-
decided to stay on Raw. Remember? I like, hey, you can come over to the SmackDown. No, I'm loyal to Raw. That's what my favorite wrestler is. That's what you said. So you stay at Raw. SmackDown opened up with The Miz
Yes,
doing his Miz TV with special guests. New Day.
5-10 minutes. SmackDown was already better than Raw.
Right. the moment New Day comes out.
And remember, I was texting. I'm like, yo, I'm super tired. I don't know how I'm gonna stay up or whatever.
Right.
But I stood up because I was entertained.
Yes. And then Miz started the part between the members like, yeah, who's going to be, who's going to be in the ladder match? And then each take turns putting each other over every
Yeah.
time.
It was good. It was a good
then-
segment. And then the bar came out and attacked the members.
No, because then Miz is like, no, it has to be one of you.
I got ahead of myself. I
Yeah,
apologize.
and he's like, all right, we choose Big E. He's like, I could be any other day. I'm going to win Money in the Bank anyway, but tell me who it's going to be. And it's like, all right, we chose Big E. He's like, finally, Big E's going to be Money in the Bank. They're like, no, you say it could be any of us. We picked Big E. So it was a match between Miz and Big E.
And then
And then
we are the bar.
the bar came out and attacked Xavier, and then Kofi ran around and jumped off
Yeah.
of Cesaro's shoulder.
It was
Yo.
a crazy spot.
Yeah, and landed on Sheamus.
Which distracted Big E, giving the
Miz
Miz
the
the win. It was a very entertaining. I can't speak today.
I don't know.
It was a very entertaining.
Taking a sip of water.
Thank you. I will do so. Entertaining segment
Right.
between all of them.
Which
What can
could've-
you say about Miz? Miz is his
money.
money. See, but I do find it interesting about New Day how they still haven't decided who is going to go into the match.
They're gonna use that to their advantage.
Yeah, but
Who do you think should go in?
well, Kofi's always like in like these big spots, so maybe it shouldn't be Kofi. Big E's kind of like a big dude. I don't really see that being his style. So I'm thinking maybe Xavier. even though a lot of people may possibly view him as the weakest link of the.
I don't think people start to see that. He's had some great matches these past
No,
couple
but if
weeks.
you had to pick out of all three,
Right.
he would be the weakest one. Not necessarily like he is weak,
Right.
but I'm wondering if that would lead to, again, I think I mentioned this last week or to someone, that maybe a feud between the New Day. I don't know.
Nah, the New Day is not feuding anytime soon. The way I see this is,
It could be money. It
yeah,
could be, if you're built right, that could be something.
yeah, but they're making too much money now.
True.
It's one of those.
Why
situations.
break up a good thing,
Right? It's
right?
like one of those John Cena situations.
Yeah, but WWE has a tendency of breaking up something that's
Yeah,
good.
but they're not breaking up this one. This is making way
They're
too much
cash
money.
cow right now.
They're coming up with new items every other week, new T-shirts every other week.
We have a promo idea for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're gonna put Xavier in the match.
That's what I said.
No, okay. But then they're gonna freebird the Money in the Bank contract.
That's a good idea. Imagine
and let Big E cash in on somebody.
Imagine they freebird to
The heavyweight title.
yeah, that'd be something.
I feel like it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while for these guys.
I like the idea, but I'm still holding on to my pick, which is The Miz. So
Miz gonna win Money in the Bank.
he needs to win it. He deserves it.
Nah, he's
Hands
gonna
down.
earn it another way. He'll earn it another way.
No, this is for him. He deserves. Could you imagine how arrogant he would be walking around with? He's already arrogant, but could you just imagine him with this briefcase?
Yeah,
It would take him to a whole nother level, and I see it.
yeah, but he already had it. There's only one person in history that,
Yeah,
that held it twice.
Yeah,
And-
but he had it already. But the Miz back then to now,
It's
two different
characters.
Yeah.
But I really think they're gonna give it to New Day. I wouldn't be surprised if they give it to New Day.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
Or
with
maybe
the Miz.
Rusev Day.
True. Rusev Day is very popular.
We'll have our pick before then. We have 4 weeks.
Exactly. So then we see Big Cass, and I don't know what's going on with him. Apparently he's injured.
I don't know if it's real or not. People are saying it is real. That he's
I
really
just
is
don't-
injured.
I don't
that he
think-
may need surgery. I've heard that.
That's kinda crazy.
I heard that rumble that he might need surgery.
Yeah.
I've also heard the rumble that this is their way of punishing him, like I told you last week, for him being the way he is.
Mhm.
But I heard that he really did get hurt in the house show last
That's
week when he was
terrible.
overseas. So they're
That's
just playing
terrible.
it off until they find out.
Well, hopefully it's not an actual injury, and they'll figure something out for him. But then we had a Daniel Bryan backstage interview, and then Aiden English comes out.
Spitting bars.
Boris introduces Lana for the Money in the Bank qualifying match for the women. This is the
There's one more spot.
there was one more. Got it. Versus Billy Kay of the Iconics. What did you think
Lana
about
is
that?
the best. Lana number one. I told you I like that saying. My son be saying that. It's just hilarious.
And then we had the debut of Lana Day.
Yeah,
in the
then
match.
Lana Day in the
Yeah.
match. And then Billy Kay and Iconics came out and did their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, Lana beats Billy Kay. And I
And
think
everybody's
said
reaction
the
was like-
same thing. I texted you too. I was like, what the?
I gave you the shock emoji,
Like-
and my emotions would have stayed shocked if it wasn't right. Then after that, they cut to Zelina Vega promo. But then I was like, "Yo, are they serious?"
Lana's going into the Money in the Bank.
And again, now this goes back to what I said a few minutes ago. The same people. Lana was in last year's match, right?
She was.
The same people are
experienced.
No, like the Iconics. One of them had to be in the match.
They're not ready for that.
Why?
They're not ready for
How
that.
do you know they're not ready for that? They are money right now.
On the mic, yes. In the
And-
ring, no.
They're pretty. So Lana is.
Lana's a little bit more. She did okay in the ladder
get
last
outta
year.
here.
She did good. She know what she's doing in the ladder though.
And I'm not knocking Lana. I'm not even necessarily mad that she won. Like
Right.
you know how.
You just wanted somebody that's just got
Yeah,
a right opportunity.
because a lot of people give Lana flack. She can't do this. She can't do that, or whatever. I admire her passion that she's willing to go out there
Right.
and work at her craft.
and she had some dance moves on the stage too.
I thought she killed. People were like, "What is?" I'm like, I thought that was dope.
Yeah,
So I'm not like let's bash Lana.
yeah.
I would have loved to see one of the Iconics in the match though, especially at least one newcomer from SmackDown.
Right.
There's no newcomer from SmackDown.
Is it all four though for SmackDown? Is it Charlotte, Lana,
Becky,
Becky?
and then we'll discuss who won in the last one. But there's no newcomer on that match on SmackDown. Literally, the only person that's new
yeah.
is Ember Moon right now.
And
That's
Alexa.
wild. I mean, like new
Up,
talent.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, after that we had Zelina Vega and Andrade Cien Almas promo, which led to a match between another jobber. Obviously,
I'm not happy about it.
you want to talk about that? I'm always down to talk about that.
Oh, now you want it's not voted though. It's like,
You didn't bold it.
I'm sorry.
If you wanted to
That's
talk about it,
all
you
right.
should have did that. So
I
I
just-
had an idea.
Yeah, I just think that they need to do Andre Cien a little bit better.
You keep calling him, I feel like Andre.
No,
No.
Andrade.
Okay. I was making sure.
I
Enunciation.
usually call him Cien
Okay.
because I
Just
Cien Almas.
Just enunciation. That's it.
Yeah, I know one. Yeah. Anyway, Cien Almas.
Uh-huh.
I prefer because I'm starting to see people say like, okay, I'm not getting it, and the crowd's not connecting to him yet.
Really?
And
Really?
yeah, I've seen that already. I'm like, give him time, but I get it. They got him facing jobbers. I would have liked him to come in with a purpose. If you had him hold it off this long, could let him come with a purpose.
Well, I've seen a completely different. I've seen people
Excited.
like very excited, and
I'm excited. You already know I am.
well, I know you're excited. Just people very excited, and him actually. People actually excited for him in the crowd. That's what I saw. That's my perspective and what I've seen on my timeline. And again, Zelina is such an asset to him because she's basically putting out there. You know, like you
Right.
said, you would love to see him get into something, but she's putting it out there. This is what
Yeah.
this is what you're giving him. You know what I mean? He's the future, and this is what you're giving him.
I would have loved for him to take the U.S. title off of Jeff on like some random night.
Well, it's going to happen because, again, he's going to be that anti-American type heel, I feel, that they'll push him. So it'll happen, and it's going to be great. It's definitely going to be good.
Then we had a backstage segment with Carmella. Carmella's like, "Oh, I am afraid of Asuka." Psych.
Mella is money. I know we didn't have this ball, but
Ballin'.
she is hilarious. She's rolling right now.
She is it right now.
Yeah.
I dare say it. She is doing it better than Enzo.
What, in regards to?
On the mic in terms of like her character
Oh,
connecting.
I won't say that.
No, when I say that, it's like her character connecting and then making it resonate in the ring, like that whole total package. Because to be honest with you, that's just Enzo. Because that's how they had it in NXT. She was just like a woman version of Enzo. I feel like she's pulling it off better than Enzo.
As an overall superstar,
Product, yes.
yeah, that I agree with. But when you say,
Please, to me, I'll be honest with you. Some
oh,
things
you cut me off with the please. Oh,
let me be honest with you. Some things that Enzo said was hilarious,
Mm-hmm.
but there's some things that was just like, what? What are you talking about?
yeah, but you know when you're so good on the mic, it's kind of like The Rock. Like sometimes you be like, wait, what did you just say? But you're so good on the mic, you don't really notice it. You're just like, all right, that went over my head type thing. But Mella is money in every way, and I think she's doing a phenomenal job.
Loving it.
I really hope she keeps the title. As much as Asuka's on my team, and I like Asuka, I really want Mella to continue as the
I'm with
champion.
it. After that, we had AJ Styles.
Hashtag after that.
There you go. AJ Styles and Shinsuke had their in-ring face-to-face to decide what did Shinsuke decide the stipulation to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then he kicks it off with a pillow fight.
I was gonna be super mad
Yo.
if that way they were being like
Yeah,
dead ass.
how was your face when he said pillow fight though?
So we're gonna talk about this too. Excuse me. I was like, what are they doing? I didn't have a reaction.
Right.
Like it was just like, really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But then, they had the little brawl, and then he finally said, you saw him counting, so then you realize it's a last man standing match. Kind of like, get that water. There you go.
Thank you.
Kind of like, how I said it was rumored to be, and I figured it was going to be, but I wished it was going to be no holds barred. But,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, I like the last man standing match, so I don't know. I'm
been a while.
kind of over this feud anyway, so I just
You are?
yeah.
Why?
It hasn't really been a good feud. It really hasn't.
I've liked it. It's been a slow build, and I'll tell you why off mic. But yeah, I like it.
I don't know. I'm not invested into it like I originally was. I'm not invested
Yeah.
into it. Then we have the Usos, who finally made an appearance.
Where have they been?
Where have they been? Versus the Good Brothers.
I was rooting for the Good Brothers in this one.
Yeah. Well, it's not that I know you were rooting for them
All day.
right. I was rooting for the Usos, but I knew they weren't going to win because you're not going to put them back into the tag team champion picture. You know what I mean? It's time for someone else to shine. And the reason why I wanted to discuss it, imagine them winning the tag team titles and AJ still having the WWE championship. Now you got the club running wild on SmackDown Live.
With the gold. And they've been tagging throughout the entire tour. So they're going to start pushing that very soon.
So I can definitely see that. And then we had Naomi versus Sonya Deville in the final SmackDown Money in the Bank women's qualifying match.
How was this match?
It was cool. It was all right. The reason why I wanted to discuss that again.
Same old people.
Exactly. Which, I mean, first of all, Naomi needed to win too, and Sonya needed to win, but Naomi needed to win because, again, she's the first ever women's battle royal champion, and they have not used her in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, she's just part of that Usos.
Don't kill her. Right, for a quick second, and then we haven't seen her. So,
right.
I mean, I'm glad. Because had she lost, then it was like, okay, well, what was the point of her winning at WrestleMania? Right. So she needed this to like build up from that big win. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Again, Sonya lost. It's just like, again, there's no new talent in this match. I don't know. What did you think about that?
I didn't actually see the match completely, but I did see the ending of it. Mm-hmm. Like you said, it's the same people in there, but I feel like they're just trying to play it safe this time. Like, yo, let's put the people that's experienced in this.
Yeah,
have some experience.
What happened to taking chances?
Well, right now they're not into taking chances. They want to do some.
Again, I feel like you're a company guy, and I
no.
know
It's not that I'm a company guy. I just I get what they're doing. I see what they're doing. I'm not not saying I agree with it. Okay. Because clearly, if the Ruby Riott doesn't win next week, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Ruby Riott should win. Yeah. Yeah, but Naomi is also there for the hot spots, just like how you would want Kofi Kingston to be there for the hot spots.
At this point.
Yeah, so she has the athleticism to do the things with the ladder that some of the others don't. So Naomi's like a clear cut.
So then we had a Jeff Hardy backstage interview. No, I didn't bold this. Did you bold it?
No, I didn't bold this.
Okay. Well,
I didn't bold this.
Like, what did you find so important about that interview?
I didn't bold anything. I just ran with what you got.
Okay, so that led to the main event: Jeff Hardy versus Daniel Bryan.
Which was a pretty good match.
That was a really good match. He had Samoa Joe on
the mic,
commentator.
Gold on the mic,
as always. Daniel Bryan won, and he faces Samoa Joe next week in I guess the last qualifying match.
That's what I wanted to know. Does that means that Daniel Bryan is qualified, and then Joe got to beat him to join him, or is the qualifying match up to grab between those two?
I think it's up to grab between those two.
Because it's supposed to be Big Cass that faces Samoa Joe.
So it probably
regardless. So
I think it's Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe to see who gets the final spot. To be honest with you, I mean, I could be wrong. That threw me off.
I could see Samoa Joe winning that, only for Daniel Bryan to have his last match with Cass to end that.
And if Cass isn't injured, maybe he can like interfere some way.
Yeah, and if he is injured, they'll probably find something else for Daniel Bryan to do.
Yeah. So that was SmackDown Live.
Yeah.
We had 205 Live afterwards, and it was pretty, so it's a short show. Nothing too crazy happened. We had Drew Gulak versus Grand Metalik, excuse me. Mm-hmm. And then you had Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher join commentating, and Gulak won. So, again, he's on fire. Yeah, Buddy Murphy promo video just amping up his match between him and
Cedric.
Yes. And I wanted to talk about this. TJP versus a jobber. TJP won. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this because it just seems like every week
there's a new jobber.
Exactly, for TJP. And my thing is, normally you have jobbers when you're the first time you're introducing us to a new talent or you're reintroducing us to a new talent. Mm-hmm. They keep doing every week. They keep having him face a jobber, whether he's either not on the show, he's in a fatal 4-way, or he's facing a jobber. And I find it odd that they don't have anything for him yet. You know what I mean? When they can be facing a whole lot of superstars currently right now. Heck, he can even be facing Mustafa Ali, face heel. You know,
It might be a setup in the sense of you might get it where a jobber might pull an upset, and then that's going to be introduced into 205 Live. That's the only sense
I don't see that happening.
That's the only thing I can say.
I've never, in the history of WWE, we haven't really seen that.
You forgot Santino Marella?
Okay, so it's been a while since we've seen it, is what I meant.
Right.
So I don't really
Lars
see that.
Sullivan in the NXT.
But he's not a jobber.
Well, he was presented as a jobber, and he pulled off the upset.
Right. Well, I don't know. I don't see that happening right now. I just feel like they have nothing.
Nothing for TJP.
TJP, unfortunately.
Nothing for 205 Live in general.
So we had a sit-down interview with Cedric Alexander on his championship match between him and Buddy Murphy.
How you do? I didn't see 205 Live at all.
Okay. So I find it, like, I think we've been saying this for the past few weeks. They were obviously building Buddy to face Cedric. I would like to see Buddy win. Why are you laughing?
You're over Cedric?
Yeah. I like Cedric, but Buddy's more dynamic to me. He has a lot going for himself right now. They haven't really done anything with Cedric's character, as I mentioned week after week. I would like to see Buddy Murphy do something with the title. I don't really think Cedric has done much, and you can't even blame him too, because they're not really utilizing him with the title. You know what I mean? So I can't blame him for that, but I would like to see what Buddy has to do with that.
Yeah, I could see Buddy winning it. Cedric has been kind of
stale.
I didn't want to say the word, but there you go. I wouldn't be surprised to see Buddy win it. I'll be okay with that.
So then we had, for the main event, Hideo Itami versus Tozawa, and
how was that match? It
was good. It was a good match. They always put on good shows. Hideo won.
I wish they would let Hideo continue doing his GTS.
Yeah, no.
Because he had that one accident. I don't get that. He had one accident and he's not to use it anymore?
They'll probably bring it back. Okay. And that was 205 Live, and yesterday we had NXT.
Yeah, all of this is not bold. I don't know why it's bolded. So yeah, we run through this. So Coach was seen in the crowd for NXT.
For me.
I guess because
it's just you as always. Yeah. Go ahead.
And then TM61 defeated Heavy Machinery. Mm-hmm. Now, see you pass it on to me. I can't talk now.
I mean, but that's like everything.
TM61 defeated Heavy Machinery. Screw you. TM61 wins.
Whoa, rude.
Wins using heel tactics again. Had the feet on the rope, so clearly they're gonna go heel.
Mm-hmm.
Lacey Evans defeated Kairi Sane. That was a surprise. She won with the woman's right, with the right punch. I guess that's what they call it, women's right.
Mm-hmm.
She won with a punch. I was like, oh, this is Alexa Bliss all over again.
Exactly.
Lars Sullivan defeated Ricochet and Velveteen Dream on a 2-on-1 handicap match, only because Velveteen decided to turn on Ricochet mid-match because he felt some type of way that Ricochet accidentally tagged him when he was in the corner. Mm-hmm. Mind you, they was working together in the match perfectly fine. Like, It was kicking on Lars. And then I guess he fell into the ropes, and then Ricochet was trying to climb up and accidentally tagged him, so ref called tag.
Mm-hmm.
He got mad and hit his finisher on Ricochet. It's like, see, that's what you don't belong here. You messed me up. Da-da-da. So I think it's going to lead to a match for them at the TakeOver Chicago. And then Shayna Baszler versus Dakota Kai was announced to happen next week on NXT.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Dakota Kai is going to win.
Yeah, no.
For the women's title. And then Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae came out to do a promo.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, Ciampa came out to interrupt, basically.
So a whole bunch of boos.
Exactly.
Per usual.
As always. And then he, challenged Gargano, tell him, come in the ring, I'll knock you out now. And then Ciampa starts walking down, so the ref jumps in like, oh, you still got a neck brace on, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. And
then they made him go outside of the ring. They're walking up the ramp, and then Ciampa's still talking mess. So Gargano trying to jump back over the ring apron. Ciampa hits him, and he falls into Candice LeRae. And, blood is on LeRae now. She's bleeding somehow.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's how they ended NXT. I think they're going to continue that, too, at Chicago TakeOver.
Yeah.
Probably like a Chicago Brawl.
Yeah. Obviously, they're not done feuding, so I can see this possibly maybe even going into SummerSlam weekend, to be honest with you.
Hopefully not that much. Well, I guess
Ciampa
got to win this one, and then
and it'll be June, and then it's 2 months from then.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was our week in wrestling, right?
Yeah, that's our weekend wrestling.
Okay, so we're gonna get into hot topics.
Definitely. SmackDown is moving to Fox starting in October 2019.
What?
And they're getting it for $205 million a year, 5-year deal. And it comes out to about like $1 billion for the deal.
I didn't know you were good at math.
I'm pretty good at math. When it comes to money, I'm there.
You think?
I'm there.
Meanwhile, I'm a banker. Let me not say that on there. And people don't want to come to me as a.
Whoa, no, not her.
Yeah, no, she doesn't know how to do math.
Yeah, no.
That's what calculators are for.
Yeah, no, I love math. Numbers are cool to me.
I hate math. But what do you think about this deal?
I think it's a pretty dope deal. Mm-hmm. Of course, it means that SmackDown might start being recorded again. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. If it's gonna be recorded, I don't see it as a bad thing so much.
Yeah.
Only because then you could catch some of the mistakes and make it cleaner, like how NXT is, like how people was talking about Velveteen Dream and Ricochet's match was last week, how it was caught with great angles. Mm-hmm. You get that kind of stuff when you get the chance to sit down and produce a show.
But you see, there's a difference on who runs NXT and who runs the main roster. Right?
Yeah, but I think Triple H has his hands on SmackDown.
You said that last week, and it was the first time that I heard that he has his hand in that. And
it's him and Road Dogg.
I know Road Dogg has his hand in it.
It's him and Road Dogg.
You have like proof of that?
I can get you proof.
Well, give me proof of that.
All right.
But again, at this point, you see that there's a difference between how NXT is ran and how SmackDown is. If they go back to pre-recording the show, it's gonna how it was a few years ago, where they're not actually producing, but they'll cut out, like, for example, if this person was supposed to cheer or this person's supposed to boo, we're supposed to get this crowd reaction. That's what I feel like they're gonna.
They do that now.
Yeah, but with SmackDown, it was
heavy.
It was heavy. Like, it made it like not authentic. Like.
Right.
This, I don't know if I'm really too happy about that, which I found it surprising that when we posted that on our Instagram.
A lot of people liked it.
At the Mixed Tag Show, a lot of people liked it. Me, I'm not in favor for it. I like the live show. Just, Monday, Tuesday live show. Because then it leads you to do other things on Friday. Not,
right.
As much as we love wrestling, it's just,
to be honest with you, I don't watch. When it was on Fridays, I never watched.
I didn't watch. That's the thing.
But we got DVRs now.
That's what I'm saying. Ratings, slip. On top of that, you have spoilers.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not in favor of it.
That's what I really did. I really just read what happened. Oh,
I tried not to. I always recorded it just because I'm old school, and every week I say this. I remember back in the day, we didn't have that. We had DSL. You couldn't, you didn't have dirt sheets. We had to watch. No one could go to the show and then put online what actually happened or record what happened. It was just you watched it. You thought it was live, and
that was that.
That was that. You enjoyed it. So if it goes to Friday, I'm gonna probably do the same thing. Just DVR it. It's gonna kind of change our show format too. We're gonna have to report like the week that we.
No, all we have to do is probably start off on Friday.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Friday we're gonna have to start off with SmackDown as opposed to starting off with Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Not much of a change.
Yeah, that was that. What else we have?
This is all yours. Go ahead, report it.
No, it's you. It's you because I apparently I don't let you rock when it comes to our favorites. So go ahead. No, you please by all means, sir, please.
Sasha Banks has signed a multi-year deal with the
allegedly
with the WWE this past couple of weeks, and she's going to be a key figure in the women's division moving forward. I think this is a great move. I know I've expressed to see her touch the Indies a little bit. But I do understand her move to stay with the WWE. There's not much more I can say about it. I think it'll be a great move for her.
I mentioned to you, I was like, hopefully her negotiating skills or whoever takes care of that are on point because
on CM Punk level.
just because, like you said, like it was mentioned, she'll be a key part of the women's division.
Right.
So if you say that means that you're gonna have a prominent role and not gonna, do what they've been doing to her this year, or just having her help, elevate certain things and then, give it to someone else. So hopefully she does. They do right by her because obviously she is one of not only the popular women superstars but superstars in the WWE right now. So
Yeah.
we'll see. What
Shout
else
out
we
to
have?
Sasha and her new deal. Get
Of
that
course.
money, Banks. See what I did there?
I didn't like that. I
Hater.
didn't. I didn't. It's not about being a hater. It was just a little corny. Sorry.
Hater.
It's okay.
It's all right. She
Let's go
likes
to
it.
nope. I don't think she does. But go ahead. Go ahead. Continue to the
No, you
next
can go ahead to the next one. My laptop died.
one. So, CM Punk was reportedly backstage at the All In press conference.
Yes.
So, what did you think of that?
I think that's pretty. I mean, granted, he was there to just pick up some T-shirts, but it was just like the person that was, quarterbacking it, the All-In conference, the lead speaker, I guess the host, you could call her. She was like, she made the comment. She's like, "Yo, they will go crazy if they know you was back here."
Yeah.
And nobody still is talking to see if he's gonna be at All-In.
Imagine if he.
I feel like he is gonna be at All-In.
I think so too. I think so. I just feel like the whole UFC thing hasn't gone that great, and at the end of the day, like, we can keep it 100. CM Punk's passion is wrestling,
Right.
Right. So, and I think just being in this promotion will give him the creativity. He has the star power to let him be creative and do his thing. So I can definitely see him, hopefully, making an appearance. And if that's the case, I have to make my way to Chicago.
So the reason it's also
Illinois.
the reason why it's also being feud is because he has a UFC match the following month in Chicago.
Okay.
So it'd be great for him to be there, and he's in in-ring shape. So you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like you're in in-ring shape. It'll help you promote
Yeah.
your fight.
Yeah.
Might as well come to All In. And it's
I hope
crazy
so.
because his signing with StarCast has sold out so fast that they had to add more time and more tickets for people
He
to
is
come see him.
missed. He is definitely missed.
Everybody miss CM Punk. Not everybody. I know there's some haters like there. He quitted on us.
I think a good majority, though.
Yeah.
Definitely miss him. So I hope so, and I can't wait to see if he actually turns up and performs.
Yeah.
So you did say your laptop is dead. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
It's all on you.
Okay, so the last hot topic that we have per PW Insider, Pro Wrestling Insider, the pay-per-views for WWE now will be an hour longer. We had this conversation when we were discussing Backlash.
Yep.
Remember, we were saying there's not enough talent. We're going to be able to perform. And we said maybe they should add another hour. There you go.
There we go.
We're going to add another hour, which in the grand scheme of things, it's like, we have to watch this for another hour type thing. But
Yeah, it's more talent.
It's more talent. And if it's a good show, you're going to be like, we want more. But now that has me believe with like the bigger shows like WrestleMania and SummerSlam, they're gonna go on for like how long was WrestleMania? I think that thing started at was it 5 this year?
And it started like at 6.
6, and then it finished at
11 something, 12.
So now imagine it actually starting at 5 and then finishing at 11 or whatever time. That's super long to be in an arena.
And to be honest with you, and we've said this too, it's all about what you got going on in the ring. Because in reality, I don't know how long you sat through Wrestle Kingdom or other New Japan. Those are 5 hours. And even though you feel it, those matches are different.
When the quality, when it's a good show, it goes by quick. Just anything that you're enjoying or having fun, you realize, oh, wow, that actually went by. There was that many minutes or that many hours.
Right.
So, yeah. So, I like it. I always like seeing, even when people say, oh, no, they should cut down Raw. No, I actually like Raw.
Yeah,
being 3
Raw.
hours.
I think they should make SmackDown
3 hours. I agree, too. It just gives you more wrestling. It's just a matter of filling it with good content.
Right.
So.
When you try to do a show and then you try to add in 10 different matches in a certain time lot, now you're giving matches 7 minutes, 9 minutes. You're not giving me time to invest.
Exactly.
As opposed to you giving it time to do what it needs to do.
Exactly, buddy. You are so right. Good for you.
I like to think sometimes.
Sometimes. It's not often, but sometimes.
Oh, cut it out.
Just saying. So that's it for our hot topics. And then what was our debate for this week?
I don't think it's much of a debate because I don't think we're going to go at it much. But how did you feel about CM Punk leaving the WWE?
Well, you really can't talk this week.
This is you. You pass it on to me.
It's not me. What do I think? And I don't think this will be a debate just because I feel like we're going to agree on this.
Right.
I thought it was warranted that he left because, again, you had a lot of things that were coming into play. There was the whole thing with his health, the whole thing with you prioritizing other superstars over hot commodities.
Right.
You know, Punk was killing it. After that pipe bomb, he was the man. He was the man.
That solidified it, because before then he was putting on great.
He was putting on great shows, and he was good, but he wasn't like on Randy Orton's level at the time, or John Cena, or even Edge.
It wasn't looked that way.
He wasn't looked that way. As soon as that pipe bomb, you know, the rest is history.
Right. WWE noticed. They was like, we have something here.
Exactly. you left the championship on him for however many days.
400 plus days.
The Rock faced him.
Right.
You know what I mean? He deserved his WrestleMania moments. And it goes back to now, a few years later, we are prioritizing a lot of part-timers or outsiders over current superstars that deserve the spot. And, you know, and it's warranted that you're going to be frustrated that you're not getting the right opportunities that you deserve.
Yeah, and again, this goes back to, in my aspect with CM Punk, is like what was promised to him. Like, he never had his WrestleMania moment.
Yep.
Even when he was champion for that long, he was never looked at as the proper champion. Like, he was coming third on the card. He never really,
and that's
like,
wild.
And this is on Raw. This is on pay-per-views. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was put on a back burner.
Yep.
And then it just didn't make sense because he was the guy, and he still went at it the way he did. And when you hear his interview, I know he gets a lot of flack for that interview, but he's saying what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he's telling you, like, I'm telling these people, like, I'm hurt and I need some time off, and they're telling me after this. Wait, do this real quick. You know what I'm saying? After a while, you get tired. Like, all right.
And then you see, and this is, again, this goes back to the beauty of not putting your eggs in one basket.
Right.
And not looking for just one face of the company. You have to build multiple people. And again, I might sound like a broken record, but back in the day, you had multiple stars that could main event or, you know, carry the championship, whether they were heel or face, that could carry. You had your main guy, but you had other supporting cast that could, you know, go at any day or any pay-per-view.
Right.
So now, fast forward to 2011, 2012, 2013, who do we really rely on? John Cena. You know what I mean? Had you take the time to build up other characters organically and not push down our throats, you wouldn't have a situation where, okay, we need Punk to perform constantly day in and day out. So at least that gives whoever is ready to take over, Punk can relax and then come in another program. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily, maybe I don't agree how he left, but again, it was warranted.
Yeah, and again, like, his final straw to him was like, he finished wrestling in the Royal Rumble with a concussion, and then he come back on Monday to find out that, we're going to set up your program to face Triple H again at WrestleMania. And he's like, really? What's the point?
Yeah.
I'm done. Like, and he went away. He didn't quit. He went home to, again, heal, because he already told them, I'm hurt. I need this, and y'all keep telling me, hold off. Well, I'm going to take it myself. And then he gets fired on his wedding day.
But you got to think about it, too, in the real world.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not going to walk off my job and be like, nah, I can't do this. I'm sick. The next day, I'm going to find out that I no longer have a job. Right. Or the next person won't have a job. So, you know, again, maybe the way he went about it wasn't the right way. But you have to make your voice be heard, and that's what he felt he had to do.
I mean, he is the voice of the people, and that's what the people usually want to do.
Very true. And on that note, I think we can end.
Not much of a debate, but a nice little discussion about CM Punk.
Nice little discussion. So, you know, it's nice to get along, because, you know, sometimes you be trying it. So
whatever.
So yeah, that's our show this week.
This is the Mixed Tag Show with Jenna and.
Well, before we...
No, we're not going to end it. I'm just saying with Jenna and Blue.
Okay. It sounded like you were ending the show. You cut me off again. So I told you, someone pointed out that you like to cut me off numerous times.
I need one of the listeners that's on my team to find out talk times.
Because apparently last week it was like 7 or 8 times that you cut me off.
Well, anyway.
So, but yeah, this is the Mixed Tag Show with Jenna and Blue. You can follow us at...
Instagram and Twitter.
Yep. Facebook
at the Mixed Tag Show, or on our personals at...
Miss Jenna Baby, BAYBEE. Don't roll your eyes.
Or at Blue Magic Grind, spelled like how it sounds. And you can follow us on YouTube.
We have our campaign going. We're at close to 60 subscribers, so we need to get to 100. So
yes.
Why do we need to get to 100?
Let's get to 100 so we can get our own domain.
That's it.
Yeah.
And again, shout out to the WWE shop. They have a sale going on for championships and memorabilia.
Check them out right now. We have a link that's going to be posted either on our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or if you're watching this on YouTube, in the description.
All you got to do is click.
Click. And
That's
subscribe, too, to all of those platforms.
Exactly.
Click.
And don't forget, this Friday, Peter A., My Little Underground,
Yep.
his Level 9 episode will be featuring who?
Jenna and Blue. The
There
Mixed
you
Tag
go.
Show.
The Mixed Tag Show. There you
And
go.
one more thing. This Saturday, I'm going to an all-women's wrestling event
Yes.
out in Jersey.
Yes.
I'm going to check it out. I'm trying to get Jenna to come out with me.
If I don't do what I have to do.
Sure, you're going to come out to Jersey and go to this all-women's. I'm going to post it up on my Instagram.
How
'cause
far
I
is
can't,
it? Because if it's a far drive.
Just drive to my house and I drive the rest. And then I'm going to post it on my Instagram.
Are you sure we're
yes,
going to have you,
I got
you
it.
driving?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm going to post it up on my Instagram because I can't remember the name off my top of my head. But I'm going to do it. And, yeah.
Okay, so I think that's it for this episode.
Yep, that's it for this episode.
All right, thank you for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Okay.
It's the Mixed Tag Show.
Mixed Tag Show.
With Jenna
and Blue.